I am alone for game number 1, it looks like. I couldn't find Trent. I think he might be sleeping. I'm not sure where he's gone. But, yeah, it looks like it's going to be a solo cast for game 1 at the very least. But Team Spirit up against, well, they were tagged up as Comanche, but when they were in the lobby, they said they don't have a team tag anymore. And I don't know if that's because they've just lost their Dota team in-game, or if they've left the org. I'm not exactly sure what they meant, but they're not tagged up as Comanche anymore. So, yeah, we'll see how they do. And that, of course, means that they don't really have their... they've mostly got their proper names, you know, Mag, Arc, Fervian, Magical, and Yul. Team Spirit sticking around still, looking pretty good, but both of these teams, now looking at their past games on Dota for the past maybe 3-4 weeks, they've been losing to the same teams. They've been beating teams like Na'Vi. They've lost to Vega. I think Comanche beat Team Spirit 2 weeks ago when they played in a best of 1. But I think these two teams are pretty evenly balanced, looking at the way they kind of approach and like to play the game. But some bans so far. TA removed out, probably one of the stronger heroes from the Kiev Major. Annoying mid hero that just does not die and deals out so much damage. But lots of teamfight ultimate heroes being banned out. Warlock has been incredibly good in aggressive dual lanes, but with the fatal bonds, you just tie everyone together. Legion Commander TB, again, just strong meta heroes, as well as Darkseer and Magnus. I think the only maybe questionable one, no, not questionable, but the kind of odd one out is Disruptor. Sure enough, has been a mainstay in CIS Dota for a while, but being banned out on second stage is kind of interesting. Team Spirit. Maybe would have liked that, but out comes a Phoenix, Spirit Breaker, and Batrider. Lots of single target punch there between the two first picks for Comanche. You know, Lasso and Netherstrike very good, but mainly it's mobility here, right? Being able to chase down Monkey King. Firefly is good at tracking down Monkey in the trees or knocking him off his perch. Spirit Breaker can charge and find him from across the map. Well, I guess Phoenix does a similar job as well with like Icarus Dive and Sunray. Anyone that Monkey Juggernaut jump onto are going to be healed and saved, and honestly, this lineup that they're building up is very, very good at turning around team fights, it feels. But Spirit, they've started things off with Juggernaut with, you know, through the healing ward can help push towers so bloody easily. He's probably one of the best building hitters in the game currently. Just the fact he can walk up to, you know, tier 3s or racks, spin and hit them. With healing ward behind him, he's not going to take any magical damage. He's healed up through physical damage. And he can run away and come back and do it again. And Rubik is such a good laning support to have with that Juggernaut telekinesis into spin, but also the fact that Rubik's quite often by, you know, an urn, adding into that push power and just being able to sustain through any team fights that Comanche punch at them. Oh, the Lycan being picked up. This is looking pretty disgusting, honestly.
10 seconds remaining.
Lycan Phoenix, so you've got the Wolfman up on the front lines being healed by Sunray with his Necro units and Wolves. Batrider and Spirit Breaker to try and catch and kill anyone who stops him from pushing. It feels like Spirit, they need some like real hard firepower, something that can actually just nuke or stun the Lycan for long enough that Juggernaut can do damage through it. Whatever happened to Lina? Lina mid with Laguna Blade and Dragon Slave. Help D-push. She's very good at hitting buildings with her attack speed. And with Laguna Blade, you can potentially just zap Lycan down before he gets too far.
5 seconds remaining.
Trent's under the sofa. There's no sofa in here, unfortunately.
Radiant team back.
There's no sofa. Night Stalker. Not exactly what I was thinking of. Doesn't really give you any strong nuking power. Doesn't help D-push. Doesn't do too much of that. But it is a laning stage hero. I guess this is gonna be Night Stalker off lane.
10 seconds.
Still holding onto that mid lane spot for Team Spirit. But against Phoenix with the silence, against Spirit Breaker, you can catch him. Night Stalker's kind of you know, jack of all trades. But
reserve time.
once it, well, why have you picked Night Stalker into Lycan as well? Now, hang on a second. There was a team that did this the other day. I think it was EG versus SG, where I think EG picked Lycan into Night Stalker because of nighttime, and you get the double effect of Howl. But why would you pick Night Stalker into Lycan? Am I stupid? Why would you pick Night Stalker in? I guess I guess Night Stalker's good against Spirit Breaker and Bat Rider, reducing their vision during nighttime so they can't just jump on whoever they want. I guess it ties in nicely with Monkey King, where you've got a ton of vision and the enemy don't. Yeah, maybe that vision game outweighs the fact that Howl has double effects during nighttime.
5 seconds remaining.
Maybe it is just about the vision game, because you're reducing the vision of these two hard initiators, Spirit Breaker, Bat Rider, and then Monkey King can have free reign up on the trees. And they do ban the Lina. That would have been a nice pickup, I think, for Team Spirit, for the mid lane. You know, D-push, good nuke power. It would have kind of ticked all the boxes for what I was looking for anyway, for them to round out their lineup.
10 seconds remaining.
I don't think we'll see Night Stalker mid. It's been a while since Synderen was playing Night Stalker mid with Yule Scepter and Vanguard armor and stuff like that. So Ember Spirit, okay, so there's some hard nuke power, some big punch in the early game, or at least the mid game, and can scale nicely towards the late game. But look at this, Comanche, they come out with a big one. Ursa Warrior. This honestly is so scary for Team Spirit, I feel. They're going to be pressured in lanes. They're up against a team that hits their timing like really nicely. Ursa mid against Ember Spirit smashes that lane. Lycan's gonna have his Mask of Mana's armlet and be pushing down towers. I feel like if Team Spirit don't get into their groove in the first like 3 or 4 minutes, this game could snowball so quickly, out of control. But we'll see. Maybe the Monkey King and Rubik can do a lot of work. Hell, maybe the Night Stalker can bring something to the table that I've not been thinking of. I've not been looking at the odds or anything, but I would honestly put these two teams at like 50-50, looking at their past series and looking at their drafts in the past. But I think this game one, I'd probably say Comanche are like 60-40 favorites. Maybe a bit more, maybe 65-35.
Prepare for battle.
But it does all come heavily down to this laning stage and early decisions. Already, Yol will get scouted out, sees Vanscore, so he's probably going to know there's an observer ward. Yeah, he's being pinged out now by Fervian. I don't think they have... they've got one... They do. They've got one sentry. It's being pinged out right now. It's going to get instantly dewarded. And Yol still holds on to his observer ward, and there we go. They've got it. Nicely done. I forgot to do all the old console commands. I was panicking that Trent wasn't showing up. So, FNG. Here's Monkey King. Orb of Venom, Stout Shield. I wonder if he goes for the Jingu Mastery level 1. We've been seeing a lot more of it, just hitting people and forcing them out of lanes so they don't get the 4 stacks. And give it over to the Monkey King. It's just the jump into the trees is so effective. Now you just jump up, you find couriers, you find information, you scout enemies out, you jump down on them. It's really good, but it just depends on what you want to do, and they're going to contest this. And running straight in towards this Radiant Bounty rune, and okay. Initial movement's very important, I said, and it looks like that's what Team Spirit are going for, trading out here. They'll get 3, I believe. Because the Ember Spirit's on his way back to this one. Does mean he's gonna miss his creep block. Pink, FNG wants to come and try and stop this. Get there in time to block up some creeps, but in the meantime, Phobos is in a bit of trouble. He's been slowed down a fair amount here. I don't think they've got another charge, not for 5 seconds. So the Night Stalker will be forced to salve up. And FNG did actually do a pretty decent job of blocking up this creep wave, so it meets in the middle. This will give Iceberg a nice start to his lane. Ursa Warrior, PMS, a couple of shared tankos, already taking a punching here from FNG. Oh, he needs one more hit to get his stacks up, but now he's under the tower, clapped. Searing Chains are there. FNG, he's got the Jingu. He's got a lot of damage, and he's just going to whack down that range creep. Wolves need no armor. What is DK Phobos doing? It is daytime, and you are getting slowed by a Phoenix. I'm sure that charge was worth it. They'll do a bit more damage to him, drop him down to like half HP. But DK Phobos is still level 1. This is the scary thing. He didn't go Iron Talon either. He has Stout Shield, Mango Tangos, which means he needs to be in lane to get experience and gold. So I guess as long as Fervian as well as Yol just keep pressuring this Night Stalker away from creep waves, and as long as Arc can keep the denies up, you know, 7 and 2, keeping the wave where he wants it to be, everything should be okay. I'm gonna keep my eyes on this Monkey King though. FNG still trying to give Iceberg a good time mid, because this is such a disadvantageous lane for him. Ursa literally smashes Ember Spirit in this mid lane. Now, poor man's shield or not, Quelling Blade or not, you just clap and you slam. The lane we haven't really looked at though. Mag up on top lane with a Bat Rider up against Jug and Rubik. Not an easy one for Bat. But Mag's getting his levels. Trying to steal out the bounty run as well. Telekinesis not going to be there from Vanskor. Realizes it's not worth wasting his mana to stop the bounty rune being taken by Bat, because he needs that mana for potential kill attempts in the next minute and a half or two. Especially if Monkey King wants to rotate in. Where is Monkey? FNG is just wandering around. Feels a little bit lost since he's had to stay mid for so long. I don't know if it's worth moving to any other lanes. Magical with the clap, and now the charge forward. One more hit is all they need. They find the kill, and with a lucky bash from Furbian, FNG might be to die as well. Magical goes in for another swipe, and double kill for Ursa. And this is exactly what Team Spirit were going to be dealing with in the laning stage. Difficult lane matchups. Needed to make it work, but unfortunately, by trying to stick around, FNG just gives another one over to this Ursa Warrior, making the shrine even more efficient, as 2 of them will heal back up to full and return to lanes.
Excellent. Help us shatter them, Spirit Breaker.
And how's this Night Stalker doing? 3 for 0. He's finally hit level 2 and is about to hit level 3. There's still Lycan farming away, chunking at creeps. Juggernaut's doing the same thing up at top lane. And I guess if you look at mid, the fact that it's 22 and 3 against a 12 and 0, it's still kind of even mid. But losing your 2 heroes there and giving so much experience to the Spirit Breaker and Ursa is a huge deal. Nice boundless strike to slow things down, and they won't be able to go in for the kill. Good setup though, but FNG was ready and waiting, and I think this is what FNG maybe needs to do more of now, is stay away from mid lane. Let Iceberg just sit there and, you know, leech last hits as often as he can. Use Searing Chains defensively whenever Magical runs up to try and hit him.
Not for you.
Here does come the first night time. Not sure DK Phobos wants to move or do anything with this. He doesn't have phase boots, nor an urn or anything like that. So it's not going to be the best for you. While Mag, there's no telekinesis on Vanskor, but a nice TP. Very well played. Holding on to it until the last second. Sees that Mag pops the Firefly. So now Mag has kind of wasted this one looking for that kill. Mid lane, meanwhile, charge forward. Bound and Strike not going to land. The Searing Chains come out too late, and FNG already slapped into the ground by this awful teddy bear. 22 and 2, but I want to see the net worth. It's only 4 or 5 minutes in, but 2,500 net worth on your mid-earth, so 600 gold ahead of that. Ember Spirit of Iceberg. That's a big deal. Level-wise as well, he's hit level 5. Closing in on that level 6. What does DK Phobos do? Does he actually leave this lane? Does he try and roam and find kills? Because he's not killing Lycan. Okay, Arc is only level 4.5. He has had a lot of experience leached away from him by Yol. Fervian found a lot of this XP ganking mid lane. Phoenix just continues the pulls. This defensive tri-lane is going to allow Arc to get that Mask of Madness at a pretty decent rate. Where is that Ember Spirit? Ember's going back to farm jungle. He's like, screw this. I'm not going to lane. I'm just going to die again to the Ursa. He needs his level 6 for those spirits, allowing him to remnant away from this Ursa whenever he runs into clap. So for now, Vanskor just takes the XP mid. Nothing going to waste here.
This sustains. Gold remains.
I'm still not sure where Trent is, actually. He has not woken up.
Generation.
Night Stalker's even being bullied out of the river, never mind out of his lane. Shoved away. Poor guy. So he's getting given mid now. Okay, Night Stalker, try and get your level 6. He's finished off an urn, so things aren't looking that bad. Just the fact all of the kills are over on this Ursa pretty much. We do have to look at this kind of ball up timing for Team Spirit though. Juggernaut about to hit level 6. He's got Healing Ward level 1. We'll have the Monkey King behind them as well. 2 points in Boundless Strike. No points in Tree Dance, interestingly enough. Going for more of the kind of raw damage team fighting than he is for any kind of scouting ability. But nighttime is like a minute until it's over. It's nearly day. Vanscore. Click on the fingers there with the telekinesis and gets a new Observer Ward down. Magical's Ursa wants to go in. Oh, he thought he had enough damage there. Needed one more hit, I think. If he had one more point in Overpower, I think that was a kill, actually. But unfortunately, 2-2-2. Spreads his skills across the lot. FNG. Looks like he's okay, but Yol won't be. One more slice of the sword for BCC. Gets that kill. Some aggressive plays there, but this is the counter-initiation power of Team Spirit. With Monkey King and Rubik having Boundless Strike and Telekinesis. Hell, you add in the chains and remnants of Iceberg, he's able to jump in and out of fights with some form of control as well. But this Lycan has been very, very happy on this bot lane. Master Command is going to be here soon. They jump into DK Phobos, and with Magical being slowed by the Void, they don't get the latch onto the Night Stalker. Even had FNG roaming in to try and help as well. Yol just wants his level 6, hiding away from Phobos in the trees. Okay, that's Supernova. Could look to make a team fight happen, but the line is drawn. Iceberg has a remnant. And he's still going to get charged on. Does he have another one to throw? He does with stick charges. He'll be fine. With a turnaround here from Vanscore comes in with spin as well from BZZ. Two heroes come out of the woodwork for Team Spirit. They turn that gank on its head. And now Vanscore can go back to his original plan. He wanted to move bottom to go and fight. He's got a smoke for 3 of them. I'll move through this bottom river, look for the Lycan, maybe look for the Phoenix. But Ark is farming away in the jungle towards the west side, and I don't think that Spirit will find anything here apart from maybe the tier 1. I just looked to my left and there's a guy on the roof. How weird. Oh, they found Phoenix. That's an easy kill. So they do get the kill and they can convert this into a tier 1 most likely. But the push is coming in mid lane. Ark and Magical shoving into the mid tier 1 with only FNG to try and defend this. Team Spirit want the wraparound play through the bottom river, maybe through mid, but the charge forward going to get cancelled out. Pervian doesn't want to commit. From the north, Iceberg, he's going to find himself an Invis rune.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Won't
attack.
commit or engage though. You still have Mag farming top lane. 1,300 gold saved up in the bank. Blink Dagger is nearly coming through. Spirit have just been dragged from one side of the map to the other. They didn't force out any TPs or rotations to bot tier 1. They moved to mid to try and maybe defend and fight there, but I guess they stopped the push onto their mid tier 1. It's just this movement around the map seems very ineffectual when Mag is still farming top lane. Lycan moves here as well. I don't know if they'll look for a kill, but with Spirit Breaker joining the ranks, might be able to look for the cheeky quick one. The trouble is the TPs from Team Spirit are still ready. They can bring in... Oh, they can't actually. 30 seconds for Iceberg. DK Phobos does have a TP. Not the best counter-initiator they've got. Radiant even scan in front of them to make sure Iceberg isn't invis, just standing on top of them. Or maybe to look for the Monkey King as well. FNG is just jumping from tree to tree. And here we go. This is the nighttime. This is... Oh. That that was a mistake there. Phoenix does die down a bottom lane. Lycan tried to give him the howl, but FNG is just hiding up on one of these trees, waiting, biding his time for what is to come. As Howl stolen by Vanscore, and it is level 3. This could be big for them, but in they go. They found the monkey, and he pauses the game. Okay. Oh, if that's really what's happening, that's really sad, because Vanscore should be in position, sort of here where my green square is, because that's where he started, right? He started inside the green square, and he's actually moved across to the east, maybe because he's DC'd. But if he was there, he would have been able to telekinesis the Batrider up and stop this from happening. That's really sad. I don't think there's any way they can save the monkey. They just have to make things happen in other lanes, and yeah, like DK Phobos and Iceberg don't even have mana or HP really to come and commit for this. Like you can TP the Ember in, but I just don't think it's worth it. You know, Monkey is like proper dead. He's gone. Maybe if Ursa blinks and commits onto the Juggernaut, you TP Iceberg in to try and find something. But it's so dangerous. Like they're pinging now. They're looking at the Night Stalker and saying, hey, he's got 140 HP. If he TPs in, he's going to have mana for, you know, maybe a silence, maybe a void in a little bit of time once he's waited for the mana to come back. So he does have a couple of stick charges and can switch to int treads. Might be enough to get himself... that should be enough to get himself a void, as well as a TP. If he agi switches, uses magic wand, uses int treads to TP and to void. Maybe. Maybe. Where is Lycan? So he's going for the kind of new build. He's bringing the recipe to himself already. I don't think he's not going to get enough money to actually just bring the recipe and buy it at Side Shop. But Mom Armlet has become so big on Lycan. The fact that you can farm incredibly fast, you just shred towers. Like you just run up with Armlet Mom with your ulti form, and towers just, you know, fall over flat in front of you. I don't want to stand up anymore. It also gives you a hell of a lot of team fight power as well. Being able to Armlet toggle and, you know, Team Spirit, they kind of just chuck a load of spells into you, Remnants as well as Omni Slash. Once that's done, if you can survive that initial brunt, you just Armlet toggle your way through to victory. Whew. Come on, Vanscore. Where are you, buddy? In this moment, he realized he fucked up. I think it comes down to Vanscore disconnecting, because I believe he was waiting ready for this kind of situation to happen, to telekinesis back the bat once the lasso hits. I think Monkey still dies, but it puts him in a much better position to re-engage around tower TPs. Why didn't Ember build Veil first? We've seen a deviation away from Veil first item Ember. It happened when they reduced his spell amp from like 15% to 10% or like 12 to 10 or whatever. And they had a few little nerfs on the Ember Spirit, and it was Miracle who was the first one to really show this off in a competitive game. He went, I can't remember if he went Aquila as well, but he went for a very bare bones build. I don't think he went for Magic Wand, so he would have had Aquila instead of Magic Wand. But it's just, you know, Bottle, Quelling, Stout, Boots of Travel, then you go for Maelstrom to actually do some damage. You can consider things like Blade Mail, which I know SC likes to do a lot, He's gone for like Boots of Travel, Blade Mail into Mjolnir before. But from there, you know, you can think about going for your Blink Dagger, which allows you so much more mobility to just jump in chains and then Remnant away. You can go for Octarine Core, you can think about Shiver's Guard later on. Basically, Anna, Miracle, and SC do this build a fair amount, where they just go pretty much raw with their items. So it allows them to farm and fill up their bottle pretty often. You put it, like, if you're farming a lane, and you burn through, like, half your HP, half your mana, and you don't have any runes to go and collect, you just throw a Remnant down, you run and, like, kill a wave with Flame Guard or whatever, TP home, fill your bottle, then jump back to the Remnant so you can keep pressure up on lanes. So it gives you farming, it gives you lane pressure, it gives you, like, kill power, it gives you, like, sustain. So much faster than any other item does. Like, Veil gives you kill power, and that's pretty much it. Gives you maybe a bit of survivability with the armor and stuff, but Boots of Travel Rush is just the all-round package. Well, they found a monkey. Bound Strike's not going to do anything. The TP's out begin, and it looks like Team Spirit get out without any more casualties. Really nicely planned there by them, realizing there are no more stuns. So even though the Monkey King is the one to die, Team Spirit do get across the map to get some pressure down. Look, Juggernaut TP bottom lane onto this tier 1 here. Up at top, sure enough, Comanche will be able to take down a tier 1 of their own with this Lycan. Getting closer to the armlet. This Blink Ursa needs to get some work done.
Radiant structures are
This is where all the action has to come down to, is this Ursa jumping onto people. And now Mag is 400 gold away from his own Blink Dagger. This could spell disaster for Team Spirit.
Bottom tower has fallen.
They've taken up a high ground position over towards the shrine. Don't know what was happening there, but Monkey King has scouted out the Lycan. The TP from the Night Stalker did come in, but no one else is coming to commit for this fight. Iceberg's waiting in the wings over towards the east of this mid lane. Magical, the Ursa. Not going to jump in. But Spirit have spread themselves very thin across this map. Jug is bot. He's kind of helped by Vanskor, who's kind of helping Iceberg. So they've got this nice kind of chain effect, this link between lanes as they kind of float from one to another. Comanche, they're all grouped up as 5 at mid. So they aren't farming too efficiently. The onus is definitely on them to go and make something happen. Iceberg goes in onto the Lycan there, fair enough. Decent chunk of damage. The Phoenix is being tracked down by DK Phobos. Might be able to find him. I don't know if he's got enough to kill. Yol with the dive away will secure his safety, at least for now. But with Void and Urn, and the silence to stop Yol from, you know, getting out. I guess the fear is that if you use Void and then silence and he doesn't dive, he's just going to TP anyway. The Blink Lasso actually revealed there. Money in the pocket of Mag means they have the initiation, they just don't have the damage to kill off Iceberg, unfortunately. Spirit Breaker wasn't there with a charge or another strike, and now Vanskor has stolen out Howl again. It's a big spell for him. They want to try and fight around this tier 1. FNG's ready. He has his level 6 as well. Wukong's command. It's only one button press away. Back off of the mid tier 1, so Team Spirit have defended just through, you know, sheer bodies being nearby. But bottom lane, Magical, he wants the Juggernaut, he has the Blink. The charge is there, they have the vision as well. The clap, not thrown until the Blink forward. Now the healing ward's down, but BZZ, he has a TP, he's not using it just yet. For some reason, holding on to it, and it looks like that will just be his life forfeit as the charge lands with another strike, and down he goes.
My fate.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Interesting decision to not just spin TP there. Maybe not expecting the charge and everyone else to come back in, but now Team Spirit, they turn this fight. They kill the Phoenix off. Spirit Breaker charges away with a balance strike with the telekinesis there from Vanskor. Means that they'll get a 2-for-1. The damage output's good enough, and Iceberg will be on a killing spree after picking that one up, as well as charge being stolen by Rubik. Not the best trade, your Juggernaut for the 2 supports, but you're still getting something and holding on in this game.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh dear. magical on a mega kill thanks to Monkey King. Thanks to Iceberg even, but Monkey King's ultimate is dropped off, but the Shrine arc is going on big. He's killed off too. Magical is the one to get the double kill as well, so 4 for nothing as they chase DK Phobos, but they won't commit for it, realizing there are bigger things and easier things to kill, like this tier 1 mid. Night Stalker's too quick on his feet to actually chase down. 2 fights happening at the same time though. Not the best for Team Spirit. There's still a bunch of fights that Yol hasn't even needed to use Supernova. FNG's TP mid with a Boundless Strike forward as well, looking for Mag. The Flame Break is there and Mag will finally die, but Arc finds the counter kill on now. A Remnant back means that Iceberg has to run. A good Searing Chains stops them in their tracks, but Lycan, he's in trouble now. He's got his armor to toggle on and off, but the Supernova lands. DK Phobos Iceberg trapped inside. Van score as well. He can't get the hits in, and with Magical running forward, they'll kill the Rubik off easily. And Yol Supernova finally lands to the ground. Maybe now they can get this tier 1. It's been 16 minutes coming, but the Omni Slash shared between 2. Yol being spun down by BZZ. They turn to try and fight this with a charge forward, but it won't be enough. Iceberg, he wants blood. He's hungry for it as well, but Spirit Breaker has to deal with a DK Phobos Night Stalker running down his throat. With one final punch, they find it. I don't know what Mag is up to. Oh, he's killing the healing ward, stopping this push again. It's just a battle of the mid lane tier 1s. Nobody is allowed to kill towers in this mid lane, apparently. Every time someone comes to hit a tower, the enemy team TPs in 5 just to defend it.
Bounty.
I'm not sure who got first 10 kills, but I hope there are lucky people in chat. I hope someone won at least.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Finally the tier 1 mid falls. Lycan, he got it. He finally got it. Yeah, Monkey King dying isn't important. Tier 1 mid is more important. For sure. For sure. And there's the Maelstrom for Ember Spirit. A little bit slower than he'd like, but he's still racking up some damage now.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Comanche have to keep the pressure up. They can't just be like wandering around and waddling into towers. They have to be kind of forceful with this. So Iceberg is getting a lot of work done with BZZ on bottom tier 2. Looks like they're TPing back to try and defend this. They've got no glyph. This tower's already dead. They're TPing Ursa in now, but oh, nice deny, Yol. Oh, you're a sick player.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
You definitely feel this kind of power struggle between the two teams. Team Spirit are split pushing, trying to get their Ember Spirit and their Juggernaut farmed enough to get into late game. And I guess with a kill onto Yol, no, the Supernova's here. Iceberg's going to turn. A couple of hits is all he needs, but he's not going to get it with a Supernova landing and another strike stunning him up. Does he have a Remnant? He does. He gets away. But that was closer than he would have liked. If Mag was any nearer with that Blink Lasso, that would have been a dead Ember Spirit. There's no Supernova. They're going to go and look for a pick-off somewhere. The line's drawn by FNG saying they'll be aiming mid-tier 2. Magical shoving this bot lane, and they're looking for a kill up at top. The trouble is, it's only a Rubik waiting in the back. The Dire scan, not going to find anyone. Maybe it'll be FNG, the one to die, but the charge will come through onto the Monkey King. The TP is arriving as well, but Lycan has already set his sights on the Monkey with the Wukong's command, and the Searing Chains coming out. Oh, Team Spirit might have set themselves up for victory here. Lycan finally swipes down the Monkey King, but the Supernova not available. The Omni Slash is though, bouncing back onto the creep wave, into the Lycan and Ursa, and down goes the Juggernaut. Thought he could get something in, but in the end, he just gets taken out. Van Score with the stolen charge, racing across half the map as well. That went from bad to okay to really, really bad for Team Spirit. They got the Monkey King spells out. They did a lot of damage and they killed off the Spirit Breaker. But continuing the fight and jumping back in when Ursa TP'd up to the top tier 1. Definitely a mistake for Spirit there as they got caught with the numbers advantage was for Comanche. They brought in a number of other heroes. Team Spirit was stuck with the 3 and then +1 from the Ember Spirit. They didn't have that Night Stalker available. It's Lycan and Ursa. They're pretty fat. Team Spirit has been farming well themselves. Monkey King is now eyeing up the Lycan at top lane. Are they going to be able to kill him? Or with the Ember Spirit TP, maybe they are. They don't kill off the creep. Lycan's caught. Tries to TP out, but it's going to be his death. I think maybe if he kills the creep fast enough that the Ember's TPing too, then he gets away. Because he can just pop Shapeshift and run. The fact that Iceberg arrives and gets the Searing Chains and even had a Haste Rune bottled, there really was no chance there. So they'll shove into tier 1. While Comanche will get the pressure onto the bottom lane. But with Lycan dead for 30 seconds, that's a lot of their power down the drain.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Lasso. Caught one by this tier 1. Juggernaut. Inside the Wukong's command, they kill off Fervian and they'll still get the tower as well. In the meantime, Yol has died to DK Phobos and Mag will get only slashed down. Magical finally gets a kill to his name. He's chasing down Vanscore, but this Ursa Warrior, he doesn't have very far to run to catch into Team Spirit's heroes further. Ember Spirit, he's got the chains, they'll kite him, they'll juke, and they will kill him. A double kill for Iceberg there. Team Spirit, they do strike, and they strike back hard, with Lycan dead, only just respawning and returning to a lane. Team Spirit, they had the numbers advantage, and they find the team fight that they were looking for. Get a couple, kill off a tier 1, and with Howl stolen again, maybe Team Spirit have weathered this storm. Comanche let their foot off the pedal for a little bit, took their foot off the gas for just a minute or two. That's all the Team Spirit needed to strike back. Iceberg actually not going straight into the Blink Dagger, going for the Lincoln Sphere against Nether Strike Charge and Lasso. I do not blame him one little bit. I'm just so used to seeing the Blink Dagger first to give you the added aggressive and defensive mobility onto the Ember Spirit. But Lincoln's is beautiful. Lincoln's is probably the perfect item here for him. While you're still trying to get a BKB on Lycan, Ursa, Aghanim Scepter's 400 gold away. Trying to chase FNG into the jungle, but Night Stalker is lurking around in the other jungle, finding a kill. Sunray comes onto DK Phobos' armor. Toggling skills are good, but not good enough. The chase is still on, looking for that Ember Spirit. Radiant's courier died at some point over there, dropping a lot of money. That's the BKB of Lycan. Oh, that is huge. That buys another like 3 minutes basically for Team Spirit, where they know they're not going to get just run down. Because that timing was meant to be there with Ags, Ursa, and BKB Lycan, where they could just go in and they could charge down some tier 2s and look for high ground maybe. Tie it in with the Aegis of the next Roshan in 50 seconds. That would have been huge. But now Team Spirit kind of have the upper hand. They're not dealing with those items coming through. What's FNG waiting for? Hiding in the trees, watching this Lycan. They scan as well over towards the shrine. The Dire team know pretty much where everyone from Comanche are. And again, it's one of these situations where the Radiant, they've all grouped up as 5. They've moved into one area. Team Spirit are splitting, farming the map, farming jungle camps, being efficient with what they're doing. Lycan Wolves aren't really scouting anyone out too much at all. And now apparently Comanche are just running back to their base and defending bot lane. And sooner or later, we're going to get this Aghanims for Night Stalker. And that's where things really do go dark for the Radiant team. Because they are so heavily reliant on initiation and catching out individual targets to then kind of snowball team fights in their favor. That Phoenix, Batrider, Night Stalker, Spirit Breaker even, I keep calling him Night Stalker. They're not going to be able to see their targets, never mind initiate on them with that Aghs ult. Night Stalker just like reducing all their vision, making it darkness all the time. Okay, they get the howl benefits, but like I was saying during the draft, I think the vision outweighs the lack of vision. The vision you get from Monkey King and the Night Stalker kind of outweighs the fact that your opponents get double howl. It's been kind of weird how slow-paced this game has been. It kind of goes from being all-in 5v5 to all of a sudden no one wants to fight, no one wants to do anything. And this honestly just favors Team Spirit as they hold these choke point areas, they're watching out, keeping... right, seriously, has FNG moved in the past 5 minutes? Really? Has FNG... Okay, he's finally moved. I'm pretty sure though, FNG has been sitting on top of these trees for like a good 2 or 3 minutes. They'll find Fervian, the Night Stalker, the Spirit Breaker, caught by the Night Stalker. Well, I have to get that out of my head. I keep calling Spirit Breaker Night Stalker, and I just don't know why. It's really annoying. Spirit Breaker dies. Spirit Breaker dies. There we go. And this is the wrap in as well from Team Spirit. Monkey King lands, the Batrider jumps into the middle of 4 of them, and he is obliterated. Ursa Warrior at least gets some damage done. He bashes up the Juggernaut as well, but in comes the BKB Lycan looking to turn this one back with a Supernova landing, not hitting onto anyone. They drop the healing ward, but BZZ getting burnt down by the Sunray, and one more swipe of the Lycan's paw will do it. DK Phobos pops the nighttime. He does have that movement speed advantage over them, but with that Phoenix having the howl up, Magical's running in, looking for more of a fight. He doesn't have his ultimate up. He does in 2 seconds time, but now he's silenced up, and the damage output looks good enough. They've taken down the Ursa Warrior and Lycan. No more wolf form, but in comes Spirit Breaker again. Oh, okay, Iceberg. Make sure he can't helmet toggle through the damage, and they'll find another one. Spirit Breaker returns to the battle only to die. And with a team fight like that, where you kill Spirit Breaker twice, and then 3 other heroes on top, Phoenix the only one to survive, but in effect a 5-man wipe there. As 5 heroes did die, Team Spirit pretty much only losing the Juggernaut, the only one of value that died.
Bounty.
Comanche now hemmed into their own side of the base, their own side of the map. Just bunker down, make sure that you don't lose too much map control in the way of Team Spirit. And with Aghs, DK Phobos nearly has it as well. They've got vision watching them, they know exactly where they are. Mag will come in at least and take down one of those observer wards, removing some of that vision from Team Spirit. About that, Fervian. Charging onto illusions is not the best, and Iceberg feels so strong. He just moves on forward. Look at this. He sees 2 heroes. He's like, yeah, what up? Slight chains onto the Phoenix. The rest of his team is miles away, though. Don't know if they're planning to smoke and come in behind, but Iceberg definitely kind of flagging the fact that, hey, I am here. I have teammates behind me, and really putting the fear into this Radiant team.
This
But with Roshan alive, obviously, this is the big contest that we've been waiting for this entire game. The silence to the Phoenix there as Matt Ryder drags one up onto the high ground. The Omnislash, oh, it's bouncing onto Lycan only, but he turns back to fight. Wukon's command being forced away is FNG, but he's still standing here with his monkeys hitting into the Lycan. And look at that, Ursul's dead, Phoenix gone, Lycan trying to sprint through as well, but 4 have fallen, and Team Spirit will be able to clear up Roshan as well. This game has been a masterclass in how to bide your time and wait for the perfect moments to strike. Comanche, they weren't strong enough in the early game, and Team Spirit will finally win a team fight. An ultra kill goes the way of Iceberg as he finds another one over on the side. But Roshan will die, and BZZ gets the Aegis. And at this point, I think it might be game over. Phoenix. Oh dear. Even with a Yule Scepter, you might die here. Iceberg, he's got the Fiery Spirits on him. He's got another Slight Chains available. The Creep Wave comes in, and he will miss. Now Remnant's back. But Yol, gotta be afraid there, buddy. This guy is not messing around. Ember Spirit is slamming you.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Is he really going Halberd?
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Why is Juggernaut going Halberd? What? Just for the Ursa? I guess. Like Ursa is building a BKB now. That's kind of a weird item. Lycan and Ursa both pretty much buying BKBs. Halberd's not the best there, I don't think. Like, why not finish Butterfly? Butterfly would be sick. He's actually queued up Halberd and and Butterfly. Okay, fair enough. Go for both then.
Not so fast.
That was my bad. I'm still checking things on the side. It's only a Spirit Breaker. I hope you guys don't mind. I didn't think his life was worthy to show on the stream. No, I just screwed up on this step. I do feel, though, that next nighttime, Team Spirit... Oh, they're actually just going to pop their ulti. Yeah, fine. Fair enough. I was going to say, next nighttime, they'll just go and run at some tier 3s. They've got such a massive advantage that BZZ can just stand high ground with Aegis and hit tier 3s. They're moving to push bot lane. They've already shoved in mid. So they actually have 3 lanes all very far across the river. They can likely convert this into something bigger. Interesting that they've chosen to sit down here, though. I guess they maybe thought someone would shove bot lane, then it could just transfer back to mid lane if they don't find anyone. And Iceberg is free just moving around the map wherever he wants to. Shoving top. There's a DD rune there for him if he wants it as well. This is not where you want to be with a Lycan and an Ursa. You do not want to be in your base. You want to be in the enemy's base. You want to be killing people and destroying buildings and getting Roshans and winning team fights and just crushing people. You have 2 feral beasts on your team. Lycan's still trying to make an MKB to deal with this Juggernaut. I think Jug is just going to go Butterfly. I don't think Halberd was the play there. He saved up 5.5k on top of his talisman. Shit. Okay, I've got a small problem with missing kills the past 2 minutes. Don't know what Vanskor was doing there in the middle of the lane with no teammates, but okay, still my bad. Died very, very quickly as well. Iceberg is just shoving tier 3 on his own. Forcing a lot of mana to be used by Magical there. And now we just... Okay, TP's bottom lane. Remnant's top lane. He's everywhere, guys. Iceberg is absolutely everywhere. There's no vision out for the Radiant either. They have one observer ward watching this tiny little gap. Like, look at how little vision that gives them. You see nothing. You see nothing at all. At least the Wolf here will see FNG. So they've got a bit of vision. Sentry is a little bit far off it. I'll see the Wolf soon. No. The Wolf has decided to stop at the ramp, sitting on the stairs. Is FNG trying to farm anything in particular? Abyssal Blade. I guess he's really not that far away. He does have the Vanguard and the Basher.
Flesh sustains, gold remains. Invisibility.
Is there anything new for these guys? It's all been so slow. Like, Phoenix got that Midas, built the Yules. Okay, he has 4,000 gold saved up, and I guess buyback is going to be saved here by the Radiant team as well when this inevitable push does come in, or the next big team fight. But they also need items like AC, Abyssal Blade. They've got the MKB on the Lycan at long last, but the Spear Breaker is mega poor. 2.6k net worth at 37 minutes. Dear, oh dear. And in fact, BZZ just says, you know what, I'm going to put Halberd and Butterfly onto my quick buy. Then I'm going to buy a Skadi. I'm going to confuse you even more than you were before. I guess with a just normal evasion, you've done enough against the Ursa to warrant it. You've baited an MKB out of the Lycan as well, which is a pretty big one, which means he doesn't get Abyssal Blade or, you know, a Desolator or an AC or something like that to actually help push buildings. Just one Talisman of Evasion has pretty much screwed Comanche's plans completely. This is game one of a best of 3, of course. Still some time. What they were planning there, but Lycan is rooted, stunned, silenced, slowed, very nearly dead, but there's no full commitment just yet. Iceberg is jumped on by the Ursa. Might be dangerous for them, and there we go. They've caught one. They've found the Night Stalk with the lasso, but Omni Slash comes through. The Wukong's command lands as well. And the Supernova in a perfect position up on the high ground. This Radiant team is being shredded. Look, the Lycan's dead. Has no buyback. And Ursa on the very edge of the Wukong's command gets bashed on his retreat. But the Boundless Strike with the final slight. The Iceberg Ember Spirit will come good. 3 dead here for Comanche. A buyback out from the Ursa means that they need to fight. They want to fight. The tier 3 is yet to die, but another Ember Spirit Remnant back with the Shiver's Guard forward. He's going to look for the slight chains as well. Iceberg, he doesn't land it. But Ursa's going to die and GG is called. It's all irrelevant as Arc disconnects. And Team Spirit, they come out good in the end. 32 to 20, 39 minutes in after a pretty abysmal start. An amazing start for Comanche there. Or ex-Comanche, we should be saying. Team Spirit win game number 1. Slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. How much damage did he do? 30,000 hero damage, or 30,000 damage there by Iceberg. No one even comes close. 17k by Ursa, 12.5 by Lycan. This was the Iceberg show, really, but game number 1. That was game number 1. We will be back in a couple of minutes with game number 2 of this series, so make sure to stay tuned.